So my name is Ashley Dennehy. I always have to thank the Creator every time I speak for such an amazing opportunity. The Creator has blessed me with such a gift that has changed my life. From this experience, I feel like I have a purpose and a drive and a passion for helping Indigenous peoples in my own community, as well as internationally. I'm 24 years old, and as long as I can remember, I wanted to be a teacher. When I grew up, I wanted to be a leader. I wanted to be that positive influence in a child's life. I wanted to make a difference. I started my educational journey at the age of 19. I applied to the local community college in my town for the Bachelor of Education program. I did one semester, and I loved the experience of being a student. However, I longed for a new experience. I applied to the Grant MacEwan University, and I was accepted. I couldn't have been more thrilled living in the big city on my own. My first year at Grant MacEwan flew by, and the next thing, I was on my second year at MacEwan. I wanted to spread my wings even further. I started joining clubs and volunteering with the international students to help tutor and help them get better at English. During one of my volunteering sessions, I had heard about a charity-based organization who was looking for volunteers to assist in building schools in countries abroad. Immediately, I was drawn and curious. I filled out an application and I crossed my fingers. Within the next few weeks, I had received a call that I'd be heading to Fiji in the following months. Up until then, it was the most exciting opportunity of my life. With the help of the Samson community, I was able to fundraise the entire cost of the trip. Many people from the Samson community donated books, small toys, toothbrushes, and other small items for me to take to the village that I'd be helping. I was so proud to come from an impoverished community to be able to help another one across the world. I came home a changed person. A seed was planted, and I was hooked. After coming home from Fiji, within a few weeks, I had moved to Victoria to try something new. I continued on with my education degree. Wrapping up my third year of studies at UVic, I was encountering roadblocks, and I was getting frustrated. Things were hard to manage, and I struggled. I was so far away from home, and I'd called my dad to express my frustration. My dad gave me some of the best advice that has since stayed with me. He told me if things were difficult and you keep encountering challenges, then that's not the Creator's path that you're supposed to walk down, despite my hard work and to continue at UVic. Deep down, I knew he was right. I was ready to throw in the towel on UVic and come home. But the same day, I got an email I could not have predicted. This email was a call for applications for Aboriginal applicants who wanted to take a 6-month internship in either Uganda or Zambia, Africa. Immediately again, I was curious. The seed which was planted in my head from Fiji was drawing me back to the thought of international development. I had filled out the lengthy application form and answered all the questions as best as I could. I had said a prayer to the Creator and sent in my application. Within minutes, a coordinator had gotten in touch with me to set up an interview. You can only imagine the happiness that I had, even just to be selected for an interview. I was so honored. The day came for the interview. I don't think I slept a wink the night before. I was nervous. This was potentially the biggest interview of my life. I phoned my best friend and mentor for support right before I walked into my interview. He told me to be myself and to let my personality shine through and my passion for international development to shine through as well. I couldn't tell you how long I was in the interview because all I did was talk my little buns off. It was something I wanted so badly. I had come out of the interview confident that I gave it my all, and I knew there was nothing I could have said or regretted any differently. My faith in the Creator had helped me to have the confidence to let my personality shine through. A few weeks had passed, and I still remembered the phone call where one of the coordinators had offered me the position of the Information and Advocacy Research position in Zambia. My overseas partner would be an NGO called Women for Change. While holding back tears, I accepted. I was speechless, but somehow managed to call back to Alberta to find the words to say, I got in, I'm going to Zambia. The Creator guided me to Victoria. Even though it didn't work out with UVic, another door was open to me. I finished at UVic strong. I graduated all my classes with honors, and I had come home to Alberta for Christmas to say my last goodbyes to every support system I ever had. It was extremely difficult to say goodbye to my mama bear, my papa bear, my brothers, my sisters, boyfriend, friends, and cat. 6 months seemed like forever. Immediately, I went back to Victoria to start my pre-departure training to prepare for the most amazing opportunity of my life. The plane landed in Victoria, and I said a long prayer to the Creator, and I asked for guidance for the journey and to be strong for the next 6 months. I knew it would not be easy, but the Creator brought me to it, and I knew He would bring me through it. My first stop along the way was at Souk First Nation on the Vancouver Island. I had met the rest of my colleagues and started my sustainability training from one of the most sustainable First Nations communities in Canada. The days were long and filled with so much information about human rights and intercultural training. During my pre-departure, I learned that this Aboriginal youth internship was a pilot project funded by CEDA, and we would be the first First Nations students to go to Africa for international development work. I felt so blessed to be able to walk the path, because I knew it would pave the way for more Indigenous youth to have the same opportunity. 1 month had passed of extensive pre-departure training, and the next thing I know, I'm on a jet plane going to another continent, and I know my life will never be the same again. My chapter in Zambia was filled with the most happiness, with the most laughter than I think some people experience in a lifetime. The relationships in Zambia will always hold special places in my heart. Zambia will always be a home to me. Zambia will be a memory, but a memory I promise to return to. Since my return to Canada, I have kept my word and shared my story with the local papers and surrounding communities. I promise not to forget about my brothers and sisters in Zambia. Upon returning to Canada, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Everything in Zambia was like a mirror, a reflection of what needed to be done in First Nations communities in Canada. I journaled every single day of how our cultures were so similar, and was always thinking of the next steps of how I could mold these ideas to work back home. When I actually got back to Canada, I was flooded with opportunities, and doors were opening, doors I never expected to walk through. The most unexpected projects have come my way, and I have graciously accepted taking on new challenges to continue my learning. I was recently featured in a leadership book from a Canadian author, Dave Douglas, who writes about inspirational people to encourage youth to lead by example. I was so honored to be the only First Nation to be featured alongside Oprah and Mother Teresa. But the story continues with another pilot project between WorleyParsons, the Samson community, and the people of Zambia. This pilot is focused on capacity building with the Samson Cree Nation and to provide clean drinking water to a few of the communities I had visited during my stay in Zambia. This project started as a vision. It was a thought I'd played with in my head, and now this dream is becoming a reality. This pilot would help provide clean drinking water to some of the most marginalized communities in the world. We're still in the early stages, but it's the beginning of a sustainable partnership where all three entities have so much to learn from each other. This theme of this year's conference was to share our stories, and I wanted to share mine in hopes to inspire, to continue on, to help change the whole web of sustainability. We heard Wab talk about last night about how sustainability was not just one thing, it had many things. So I just want to hopefully inspire to continue the change And I just want to thank everyone for the work and the contribution that they've already done in the field of sustainability within First Nations communities, and for the work that has yet to be done in the future for the generations to come. Thank you.